Hot Toys Baylan Skoll from the Disney Plus series Star Wars Ahsoka. We got this one a lot earlier than we all anticipated, didn't we? Well, I'm excited to be bringing you this unboxing and review of Baylan. Let's go. And here we go. We have the Star Wars Ahsoka Baylan Skoll. Got to get the gloves on for this unboxing. Got to give the thumbs up approval. And here we go. We're ready to rock. Baylan Skoll as portrayed by Ray Stevenson. What a great performance Ray Stevenson gave us as Baylan. Very excited to be jumping into this. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. Man, what a performance this was in Season 1. Definitely became one of the highlights of the Ahsoka show. And you can kind of see right here with what you get when you take the top of the box off. You can kind of see this right here with this card here with the art, with the character on it. And then you get a little peek under the hood here of the figure and all the different things. But I wanted to show this off as well because this is about the unboxing experience. Maybe this is your first Hot Toys. And if it is, you got this instruction booklet that comes with it. Hot Toys does a good job of giving you this instruction booklet, making it easy to kind of see how to use the USB lightsaber function, the eye roll movement functionality, all the different stuff in this handy dandy instructional manual. Thumbs up approved. So here we go. We're going to take a look at Baylan, and right out of the gate, I know you guys want to see this head sculpt, and I am very impressed with this head sculpt so far. Again, the weight of the figure, this body is very substantial. Got the split cut boot there. Kind of want to just show off this because I love the armor. I love this medieval look, this medieval knight look that they got going on with Baylan and Shin from the Ahsoka show. And you kind of see just, man, the wide shoulders, the broad shoulders. This guy's tall. He's got a lot of weight to him. He has a presence already before you even put him on the shelf. You can kind of see the gauntlets, the hands here. Just, again, I keep going back to it, that medieval knight look. It looks really good. The weathering effects on the cape here, or on the pant legs and everything. And you can kind of see the head sculpt here. And aside from maybe adding a little bit more pepper in the beard and in the hair, this hair sculpt looks great, the beard sculpt looks great, and the head sculpt in general, I am very impressed with. I think this looks great. I mean, I really do. I think this looks fantastic. The more I look at it, I want to kind of give all different showings of the lighting here with the light hitting it on different areas. You can kind of see the aging lines here. You can see the sculpted hair back here. It kind of does a good job of hiding that seam line. And you can kind of see the eyeball roll functionality inside the head sculpt. So definitely, if you want to move the eyes around, that's how you access that. And you can kind of just see how good the aging lines look in the forehead and the sides of the face. Really, really impressed with the likeness to Ray Stevenson here as Baylan. And we're going to take a look more at the head sculpt here because I wanted to change up the light. So I messed with the light just a little bit, kind of moved it around because I wanted to kind of just see all the different angles of the lighting. Because a lot of times in our display, we're going to hit different lighting, different times of day. You know, maybe you have the lights on a different setting. I just always like to kind of show off like what that's going to look like in different angles. So I'm trying my best to show you this. And again, I think you could just really appreciate the paint applications, the sculpt work on this head sculpt. And I'm just really, really impressed with it. And I just can't stop looking at it, man. I can't wait to kind of move this around and kind of show it in different poses with the different eyeball functions and everything. And we're going to be looking at that towards the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. You get here with the standard, the standard rectangular base. You've seen it all before. If you've seen Star Wars figures, you get this base a lot with a lot of figures. I'm okay with this. This is fine. It kind of, it's not going to make or break anything, but I kind of like the simplicity of just having a standard base with a release like this. Again, you get this comes with a crotch grabber here. And we're going to take a look at some of the accessories. And here's the USB lightsaber. And the USB lightsaber is one that if you have access to kind of have your USB lightsabers lit up, cool. Sometimes the Hot Toys lightsabers don't give off the best lighting. We're going to take a look at that towards the end of the video as well, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to just take a look at the standard hilt here, lightsaber hilt that actually looks really good. I mean, I actually really like this lightsaber hilt. It comes with this little ring right here that can hook onto his belt. And I'm just really impressed with the paint work. And the hilts always look really good with Hot Toys Star Wars. So if you've had one before, you can kind of know what to expect. And this is no different. Looks really good. You get the two different styles of lightsabers here, the lightsaber effects. Again, I normally just go for the regular lightsaber. I love what they're trying to do with this. And here you can kind of see it. And it's got this nice orange reddish vibe to it. Again, Baylan's is like this orangey red kind of thing. This right here, I know what they try to go for with this, but I just never personally display it like that, but I do like having the option. Hopefully they can improve on that a little bit more. And the cape is actually taped underneath this. So if you kind of open this up, just know that his cape and hood is underneath that box right there that you see. And you can kind of see, I'm really impressed with this. It's going to be a wired cape here. It's got a lot of good weathering towards the bottom of it. And you can kind of do some really good stuff with this cape. We're going to take a look at that because just based on the promotional images and blogger photos, a lot of cool shots with that cape. And you can kind of see the weathering. I love how the lower it gets to the ground, you know, whether that's picking up dirt or whatever, it gives it that realistic look of like what that cape would look like when a lot of dirt and different stuff get on it. So the weathering is really nice. The hood is going to be, you know, if you've had a hood on these figures before, you know that it can kind of be difficult to kind of get that to mesh around his head. So we'll see how that works. Got a bunch of different hands here. Just going to show off a bunch of the hands, just a couple of them one by one, just so you can kind of see their articulation, not the articulation, but just how they're going to be, the personality of these hands, because there's a lot of different hands. And the cool thing about this Baylan figure is all these hands, each one of them have a different purpose. They're going to give you a different look in the display, which I really like. It's not just your typical, like, you know, 8 different hands that are kind of the same. These are all different, which I really like. And you kind of see that ring right there. You can kind of see again that medieval knight look on the front of the hand as well. And we're just going to put all these so you can kind of see them all together. And you got a bunch of different ones like the force choke hand, the force move hand, all these different hands, the lightsaber holding hand. So again, really good job if you're somebody who wants to switch these out and do different poses for photography or whatever. There's a lot of options here for you. We're also going to just take a look again at the weight of this figure, man. I am impressed. Look at the articulation here. You get this shoulder gauntlet here that actually velcros off. I actually like that. Would have loved to have seen maybe even magnets on that, but you know, I'm okay with this as well. The Velcro normally holds pretty well, but just know when you are moving this around that will kind of come off a little bit, especially when you're taking out the wrist pegs. A lot of times this would come off just because you're trying to put that wrist peg in and you're kind of holding that shoulder. Articulation, you can kind of see where it goes to. Got this split cut boot, which I'm really a big fan of, but this is kind of odd to me. Not odd, but like this was interesting to me with this foot here. And you can kind of see how thin the leg is underneath that split cut boot. So definitely just keep that down or it's going to look kind of weird. But overall, I mean, again, I like it because you're getting a lot of movement in those feet, in those legs. Even though this character is not one you're going to be putting in a bunch of crazy poses, it is still nice to get that split cut boot here with Baylan, and those boots look fantastic. You can see the weathering here, purposely trying to do that with the weathering, and you can kind of see how it's already like tethered a little bit at the bottom of that. You got the movement here in the legs. Just wanted to kind of show off the different articulation points with how high this leg goes up when you're bending it at the knee there. And again, this figure is going to be standing upright for the most part. That's what his character did in the show. He's got this defensive posture with his lightsaber attacks and his lightsaber battle poses and everything. So I'm going to be keeping him like this for the most part. Just kind of wanted to show you his outfit, his costume here, and I'm really a big fan of it. And it's just, he's just got a presence, man. I know you probably can't tell on this video so much until we get to the highlight reel at the end of this video, but you can kind of see just the great work on the materials here by Hot Toys with this figure. It just looks great, man. The color schemes go well together. Again, there's that body, and when you get it, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. It's like this, you know, the suit underneath that's like, you know, it's almost like fake muscles, you could say. It's like really nice material. It gives a little bit, but it also creates this thing where Baylan has this presence, these broad shoulders, you know, wide big chest. And they just did a really good job with that. And you can kind of see the stitching here. It just looks great, man. I mean, I'm really a fan of his, you know, the costume design in this show, especially with the Baylan and Shin Hati characters. And once we get Shin, they're just both going to look great. So let's take a look at this figure. It is a fantastic figure. It really is. And I'm just going to show you a bunch of different poses coming up. And we wanted to just do that. And then I'm going to tell you my final results of this figure, of the Baylan Skoll from Star Wars Ahsoka. Let's jump into it. Just really impressed with this. That little touch of green with this outfit, with this head sculpt, got the eyeball roll going different directions, giving you different looks for this character. Got a side view here. Love the stitching here on the back, that seam right there. Again, just this great costume design. And Hot Toys really knocked this out of the park with that. See the presence that Baylan has with this hood on and the cape with the USB lightsaber. That head skull, man, just looks great. Again, the hood, it kind of, it's a little difficult to work with. Got some different lighting. You just see how cool that looks with the orange lightsaber hitting the head sculpt there. Just looks really good. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, but I think this looks really good. I think Hot Toys really did a great job with this release. You can kind of see right here, this is that defensive posture kind of that you see at the front of the box. Only small issue I had is the tethering at the bottom there. You can kind of see it. That is intentional, but there's a lot of it. But I mean, look at this guy. Again, that small, I have a few small issues with it, like I just said with that, but overall, this is a great release. It's a simple figure, not a ton of accessories, a few hands, standard base, but they got what they needed to get right, and that is the body of this figure. That is the costume design of this figure. Look at this cape. Look at the boots. Look at that head sculpt when we get back up to it. Just look at this thing, man. It looks great. This is going to look good in any Star Wars collection, any Star Wars display. If you're a fan of the character, I highly suggest picking this up. This might be the only time we ever get a Ray Stevenson Baylan Skoll. And if it is, they did a great job. If you're picking this one up, I think you're going to be really happy with it. Thank you for watching this unboxing and review of Baylan Skoll.